What do you think? Was it a success?
Good morning, Pete. No, it was a abysmal failure. Look, all Raskin had to do was prove that the president had incited a rebellion or insurrection. The burden of proof was on him. Trump didn't even have to open his mouth, or his lawyers didn't have to do anything. And Raskin dropped the ball. I mean, they had all the time and money and energy in the world to go after him. The idea that he's won in the court of public opinion. Pete, you remember several years ago during the Iowa primary when candidate Trump said he could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and not lose any voters?
Yeah.
That's what this reminded me of. You know, he's probably nearly guilty. Yeah, and he's not going to lose any voters on this. In fact, you know, the idea that Facebook and Twitter have him off their accounts right now is probably very good for Trump because it's giving him some discipline to think about what he's going to do. But look, I was very interested in Mitch McConnell's explanation about what went on. He said that they had no jurisdiction to do this kind of thing, and the president shouldn't have been impeached. And then he says that practically and morally, he is responsible. Now, what your viewers probably don't know is that as Mitch McConnell's wife was Trump's secretary of the transport for 4 years. And so she was right in the mix in those cabinet meetings, et cetera. And so I got a hunch that Trump, that McConnell was sort of having a conversation with his wife about, yes, you know, he's not guilty by any of these other accounts, but he's morally guilty. Well, morally guilty or not. Look, it was a great day for the president. He lives to fight another day. He is going to come back. He is going to get even with some people. But for the Democrats to crow that they have a great victory here is ridiculous. What they've done is they've satisfied their remit to the left. That is a progressive part of the party wanted them to go after Trump, without which they weren't going to help Biden with the rest of his package. So now they got to tend to this. But I don't think the Democrats are very much in control of this at all. And Raskin's emotional attack, you know, you don't want a lawyer who's crying in court. You want somebody who's really fighting for you. Yeah. And Trump got lucky. He got some pretty good lawyers. He still gets pretty bad press, but that's not the point. The point is he can shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and, Pete, not lose any voters.
Well, what of Trump now? What of someone of Mitch McConnell? How has he established himself in the mix, given what's happened, by being quite critical of Donald Trump, but still not voting against him?
Well, McConnell's trying to have it both ways, of course.
Yeah, he hedged his bets, yeah.
Yeah, he's going to hedge his bets here. Look, McConnell, he's in the Senate now for another 6 years. He's just won re-election. Maybe he'll hope people forget. I don't think McConnell helped himself. And keep in mind, he's the minority leader now. You know, he's not the majority leader. You know, he's already on the short end of the stick. So there's not much left to his career anyway. I don't think he helped himself. And I don't think Trump supporters are going to forgive him for that tongue lashing he gave him. It was really quite extraordinary and quite unnecessary. You know, you say, you know, the boss won, but, you know, the boss is morally guilty. Well, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Most Americans aren't worried about ethics and morality. Anyway, Trump, you know, he's still the man of steel. The Mueller went after him. And there was the first impeachment with the abuse of power, and now this one, inciting a rebellion. So, you know, Trump lives to fight another day, and he will too. He will come back as a presidential candidate if his health is in good shape. And I'm sure he'll wipe the floor with the Democrats. They have not seen the end of Donald J. Trump.